Never mind.
So I think, I'm so sorry about that. I think we were muted. So we'll go back to just the beginning. We'll have to restart this, right?
Okay, we'll start.
So Dr. Sabrina, if you could just go back to the first couple of slides. So hang with us. Always technical issues, right?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting introduction to the Biovet Science degree program at IMU University. I'm Dr. Sabrina. I'm one of the lecturers from the Department of Veterinary Science at School of Medicine, and I'll be your moderator for today's forum. We have a great lineup of speakers and a lot of valuable information for them to share with you. So before we begin, I'd like to remind a few housekeeping rules. We have muted the microphone for all attendees. For questions and feedback, please use the Q&A panel, and this live webinar will be recorded. Okay, I have here with me today Dr. Thiba and Prof. Malaika, and we'll be exploring the Biovet Science degree program at IMU. So Dr. Thiba was one of the pioneers here and was the first on board driving the curriculum development of the Biovet Science degree program. Again.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Thiba Rajoo. I have been a small animal clinician for the past 20 years. My career started off as a veterinary doctor at the University Veterinary Hospitals in UPM. And then from there, I went to work in the Department of Veterinary Services before opening up my own practice. And like Sabrina said, I was one of the pioneers. I joined IMU in July of 2023. So I've just celebrated my 1-year work anniversary. I was in charge of curating the curriculum, doing up the modules, and I must say, we had a lot of ups and downs, but I'm glad that, we rode through the wave and, we are all ready to launch this program. So I bring with me immense knowledge from the industry, and I'm really looking forward to having you guys on board soon.
Now on to Prof. Malaika, who is the head of department of the Veterinary Science from the School of Medicine, and also the program director for the Biovet Science degree program. Could you introduce yourself, Prof?
Yeah, thank you, Sabrina. So I'm Malaika Watanabe, and I graduated with a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree from Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, UPM, in 2001. After which, after a short stint as a research assistant, I continued my studies at Yamaguchi University in Japan, and I graduated with a PhD in veterinary internal medicine in 2006. After which, this was almost my dream to go to enter academics. So after that, I worked for about a year in Pakistan as a visiting professor at a newly launched vet school over there in NWFP. And I joined UPM in 2008, and I was there at the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Department of Clinical Studies. Later on, it became Department of Companion Animal Medicine and Surgery, and I was a clinical academic for 14 years. So apart from research and teaching and administrative duties, I worked as a consultant of small animal internal medicine at the University Veterinary Hospital. So after 14 years, a great 14 years, I went back into private practice for about a year, and I just joined IMU February of this year, and it's been a great run so far. I'm really happy to be working with a great team, Dr. Sabrina and Dr. Thiba, and of course, all the support from management and of course our dean. So we are really, really thrilled that we are launching this Bachelor of Bioscience in Bioveterinary Science honors degree, and our first intake will be October this year. So back to you, Dr. Sabrina.
Thank you, Dr. Thiba and also Prof. Malaika. To begin, I'd like to request again Prof. Malaika to give an overview of the Biovet Science degree program.
Thank you. So thank you to all for joining us today, and I'll be guiding you through the exciting opportunities and unique aspects of our program. So at IMU, sorry, next slide, please. At IMU, we believe that healthcare extends beyond human health to include the well-being of animals and the environment. And this belief is at the core of our pioneering One Health vision. Our Bioveterinary Science program is a vital part of this initiative, bringing together human, animal, and environmental health into a single integrated approach. So the Bioveterinary Science degree is a 3-year Bachelor of Science degree comprising of 6 semesters, and it is combining or integrating animal science or veterinary science along with biology and biotechnology. So it's an integration of these 3 aspects. Moving on. So the program structure it provides an in-depth training in animal production, welfare, and health, and it's been meticulously structured to provide a comprehensive education that combines theoretical knowledge with practical skills. And I'm just going to go through some of the key components semester by semester. So in the first 2 semesters, students are introduced to the fundamental aspects of bioveterinary science, with a focus on animal handling, professional development, and a system-based approach to various biological disciplines. The program then transitions to clinical practice and trade practice, as well as research design and methodology in the 3rd semester. Then in the 4th and 5th semester, it delves deeper into system-based modules, exposing students to the integration of technology, engineering, and data science in animal health and production, as well as incorporating aspects of communication and business skills. Then there was actually a short semester, which is a research short semester. So students will undertake a short research project and write their final dissertation. And finally, is this last semester, the 6th semester. And this semester is dedicated completely to industry internship, allowing students to gain hands-on experience and a deeper understanding of what it means to be a bioveterinary professional in the real world. And this industry-led exposure and training ensures that students are job-ready and well-prepared to make meaningful contributions to the bioveterinary sector. Next slide, please. So just to highlight some of the key features that makes this program unique. So first of all, IMU is the first private institution in Malaysia to offer this cutting-edge program, which addresses the growing demand for professionals who understand the intersections of animal, human, and environmental health. Our pioneering spirit drives us to continually innovate and provide our students with cutting-edge education in this evolving field. Second are the strong linkages with industry. So we have strong linkages, providing students with the access to mentors who are prominent experts in their fields. Our industry-relevant curriculum ensures that students are well prepared for the workforce. And this is very important because we've always had issues with graduates entering the workforce without those day-one competencies. And this is what we're ensuring, that they are ready for the workforce. And finally, the last semester is dedicated completely to work-based learning. So this authentic work experience in various settings based on students' interests will provide the foundation for them to enter into a field that they're interested in, whether it be locally or internationally. So that's what the program is about in a nutshell.
Thank you, Prof. Malaika, for the insightful presentation. I think one of the common questions that is often asked is, with regards to the program, the Biovet Science degree program, is that how it differs from other veterinary medicine or animal science program out there. Dr. Thiba, could you answer this question?
Okay, thank you, Sabrina. So as you know, I think Prof. Malaika has already mentioned that ours is a Bachelor of Science. It's a 3-year degree program, and usually veterinary medicine programs are a 5-year program. And you can see veterinary medicine focuses on medicine. Veterinary medicine students or graduates are actually trained to be professionals in that area to treat animals. So that's why it's a 5-year program. Ours is a bioveterinary science program. It's a 3-year program that focuses on production, handling. It focuses on the diverse platform that deals with animal health, welfare. So a lot of times, you know, when they come into this bioveterinary science program, that actually bioveterinary science program is relatively new. Right, I think it probably only 5 years, right? That it has been offered overseas in various UK universities and various Australian universities. So I would say we are the first of its kind to offer this program in line with global demands. So our program, you know, not only equips students with management skills, it equips students with business skills, communication skills, I think Prof. Malaika will agree that, being in a veterinary practice or being in the veterinary industry, every animal comes with an owner, right? So, you cannot just say, okay, I'm going to help the animals. I'm going to, work with animals and not humans. And oftentimes, other veterinary or animal science-based programs do not pay attention to communication and the business portion of the program. So we pay a lot of attention towards communication skills. We pay a lot of attention to the business skills and also the psychological and day to day, how to deal with your mental health, how to deal with trauma. One thing I will tell you all, as a working professional, when I was a veterinary doctor, going into the field, nobody taught me how to deal with grief. Nobody told me how to go and tell an owner, I'm sorry, your pet has cancer. Nobody, I was never
giving
prepared
that
for
bad
that,
news,
yes.
how to deliver
Right?
bad
And
news.
oftentimes I felt like I was lost. So we at IMU, together with our counseling unit, together with professionals from the mental health realm, we come together to curate, to teach students even that. Right? And with our cutting edge facility, we teach students how to do simulation training. We're going to teach students how to do role play, those kind of things, together with animal health. Of course, everybody will ask, okay, there are many universities offering animal science programs. How do we differ? Right? Animal science programs out there basically curates towards production, maybe towards breeding, right? Mostly to farm animals.
Husbandry.
Yes. What we are lacking is a holistic program that offers students the choice to do either animal health, management, or everything that is in that realm. So our bioveterinary science program actually caters to health and management, right? So students have hands-on practice so they can help. If their choice is to go into the veterinary health sector, they are equipped with knowledge to help veterinary doctors, draw blood, do examination. Yes, all the simple things. And I think Prof. Malaika will agree with me, having been in the clinics, the efficacy of a veterinary clinic heavily relies on its support staff.
Yeah.
Right, Prof?
Yeah, that's for sure.
So that's how we differ, because we are able to, collect what the industry actually need and curate a program that will cater to the industry needs.
Thank you, Dr. Thiba. I think your explanation is very clear. And in terms of readiness to welcome the first cohort of students, what state-of-the-art facilities and resources will these students have access to during their studies? Maybe Prof. Malaika, you want to speak on that?
To support our students' learning journey, IMU provides state-of-the-art facilities, and we have ensured that we have this dynamic learning environment for teaching and learning. So I'd just like to run through the facilities that are specifically for our bioveterinary science degree program. So let's start off with the veterinary museum. So here, next slide, please. So this is.
Sorry, technical issue. Let me share the screen again.
Okay, so if you can see here, this is a veterinary museum, and we have really these really nice anatomical models of cats, dogs, horses, and we have a lot of plastinated models as well, which serve as excellent learning aids. And these models are really perfect for teaching and learning, and especially nowadays when we have, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of concern about animal welfare, and rightly so, and the use of carcasses in teaching. So when we have these plastinated models and other, models that have been specifically designed for teaching, so they're really great and really in quite a lot of detail. So we can also, in that sense, we are also supporting animal welfare and ensuring that we are strong, supporters of that as well. So that's the veterinary museum for you. Then we have the skills lab. So as you can see here, Dr. Thiba is with our cow. We're very proud of our cow. So this is a full-size cow model, and it will be used for teaching restraint, handling, tying techniques, etc. It's actually a milking model as well. So at a later stage, that's something that the students can practice as well. So this skills lab is actually quite big. So the purpose of the skills lab is to conduct practicals. So this is where the lecturers will be able to teach students about all the different techniques and procedures and get a chance to do hands-on. And therefore, as you can see here, we have dog and cat models. So we believe that's very important to actually have the students practice on models first before they move on to handling live animals. And that's for the safety of the animal and obviously the student too, because they need to know the proper way to approach and handle. And it's also been shown, I think Dr. Thiba, you were mentioning this, how this research has shown that actually practicing on models is actually better.
Actually, you know, I have a personal experience to share. Yes, I'm a veterinary doctor, but I'm actually afraid of horses. I didn't have this from young, but it was something that I can't seem to shake off. So when I had my practice on horses, I was almost trampled by a horse.
Okay.
And all that, you know, it's like I still cannot bring myself to go near a horse and let alone like blood taking and all that. That fear is real. You know, fast forward to today in our, lab, our SDN lab, we have the horse model. And I realized, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Right? If I have that, I don't think I will allow that fear more than 25 years ago to cripple me, right? Dr. Sabrina is forever calling me, let's go and ride a horse. I'm like, no way. But I think it's time to conquer my fear.
Yeah.
I think, along with the students, I think I will also,
definitely.
make sure I do my competencies and, let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe I can 1 year from now report, guys. Yeah, I did it.
One day.
Yes, one day.
So that's why it's important that they get this chance to actually practice on models first before having to experience the real life. So the next, I'd like to introduce the self-directed learning area. Now, this is really fantastic. This has been designed to encourage independent study and learning that are really critical components to learning. So what we have here is we have stations set up. So there are different stations where students can practice performing various skills. So we identify skills that are critical, and the students, will be taught obviously during the practical, but then they get to practice and keep practicing these skills at their own, time and leisure. So it allows them this opportunity to keep practicing these skills. And that's why the models are important, because they wouldn't get that opportunity with live animals.
Yeah.
So here they are given the opportunity. So as we can see here, there's a horse head there. So that's actually the model where they can practice jugular venipuncture. All right, we have that pig. It's a pig down there. It's a wooden pig. And this is a model used to practice snaring. So we have all these different models, stations set up where the students can practice their skills. And this is, again, in line with the importance of graduates acquiring day one competencies. So we want them to be able to have these day one skills when they enter the workforce, right? So we get a lot of feedback from the industry saying that the graduates are not industry ready. They have to be taught or retaught. So this is one of the steps taken to ensure that students are ready for the workforce. Then we have also the simulation clinic. So this is quite fun. So simulation clinics that have been designed to simulate real world environments. Okay, so it provides students with the opportunity to develop their skills in a controlled, supportive setting. So as you can see here again, Dr. Thiba is our model. We have designed this space to kind of mimic a real veterinary clinic. So we have our dog consult rooms, we have the cat consult rooms, and then we'll have our actors or the owners coming in with their dogs or cats, and we will simulate the whole consultation and allow the students to practice their skills in that simulated setting. All right, and then finally we have the labs. This is also a dedicated skills lab for the Bioveterinary Science students, and this lab will allow a space for practicals related to virology, microbiology, parasitology, bacteriology, and of course the pathology practicals can be held in this lab as well. All right, so finally, I think the last bit I want to show you, the last facility is the animal holding room. So this was specifically designed to keep the animals that come in as simulated patients. Should they need to stay for more than a couple of hours, they will keep them here. So this is a conducive environment that we can keep them, before they actually used it for the practical. So that's about it. Kind of exciting.
Very exciting, actually. Thank you, Prof. Malaika and Dr. Thiba, for sharing some of the Biovet science facility and many more to come, actually. Now, I think the audience would like to hear some of your personal experiences as to how and why you chose a career in animal health, specifically in veterinary medicine, and what were some of the challenges that you faced along the way. Let's start with you, Dr. Thiba.
Well, I think, we have to go down memory lane. I think as a child, I must have been like 8, maybe 7 or 8. I've always had this keen interest in animals, right? So my grandmother had goats, she had ducks, she had chickens, So I grew up, for the majority of my life with my grandmother. And, as I, went back to go on to my primary studies and all that, I readily, loved the dogs that we had. Even at home, we had dogs, we had rabbits, we had chickens. I will never complain when it comes to feeding them, looking after them. And I used to, feel very sad when, any of my animals are sick. I will beg my mother, right? Those days we used to grow chickens in our house to slaughter. I will count every
Oh my
chicken,
goodness.
okay? I will name every chicken. And, right, it's like one day when I came home, one chicken was missing.
It's so
I asked my mother,
devastating.
where is this chicken? Then she was like, yeah, I made curry. I refused to eat.
Yeah.
I refused to eat because that chicken was my pet. No, what I did, I went and opened the cage and let all of them in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but actually my interest came because, as a young child, my father used to watch a lot of documentaries. And watching the documentaries, that kind of gave me this desire that I want to help animals. So when I asked my dad, Appa, how can I help animals? He said, you have been an animal doctor. And that was it. At 8, that was it.
And you had the support of the parents?
No. No, my dad was okay.
Okay,
It was my
suggested
mother.
it, okay.
It was my mother, my mother was like, no, because my siblings are, medical doctors,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So it was like, no, you're not doing this, you're gonna do medicine, blah, blah, blah. Then I told her, no. By that time when I was like 17, 18, we had Astro, and I will sit and watch Vets in the Wild, Young Vets, that was like okay, I'm gonna be like them.
Yeah.
That's what
That's an
motivated me,
inspiration.
Of course, you want to join in the bandwagon and become a wildlife vet. My mother said no way. So I quietly, I kept quiet. I didn't want to say anything. And I did my background work and I applied to UPM without her knowledge. And I only told her when I had to go to university.
Oh my God.
Yes. But of course, fast forward now, I can tell you that I'm very, very happy with the profession that I had chose. I don't think I'll be happier doing anything else. There's no Monday blues for me, although somebody told me today, should be Monday because I'm wearing a blue jacket. But no, there's no Monday blues for me. I enjoy coming to work. I would say that work is an environment where I'm less stressed because I have all my animals that I look forward to saving and things like that. Today I think, my parents are actually very proud of me.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
So that's a little bit about my story.
What about you, Prof?
Well, it's similar in a way. I think a lot of us vets, we've always had, we have this passion at a very young age. So I was about probably 7, 8 too, when I thought, I love animals so much, we're the type who pick up every stray cat and you're hugging it. And I was like, I just want to do something to help animals. So, it was either zoology or veterinary medicine. I thought veterinary medicine, you can actually treat them. And you just, it was that innate kind of feeling or drive that you want to help these voiceless animals. And that's what led me to veterinary medicine. And but for me, my parents were very supportive. So they were like, yeah, you do what you want to do, what motivates you, what you're interested in. So it was quite a smooth journey in that sense. And I've never looked back, like Dr. Thiba said. But I think there's one thing I just want to, to tell prospective students going into animal health or veterinary medicine or going down this lane is that, having that passion for animals is very important because that empathy is critical. You must feel empathy for the animals because you're working for them, right? You're working with them. But it's a misconception, like Dr. Thiba actually mentioned earlier. You don't have to deal with people. And I think a lot of those who actually enter into this field of animal health think that, I don't like people, I like animals. And I'm in this because I don't have to deal with people. But like Dr. Thiba said, with every animal, there's a person attached, there's a human attached. So whether it be the farmer with the goat or the owner with the dog, you're gonna have to deal with people. Unless maybe if you're a wildlife, vet or wildlife vet assistant.
Oh, you do research.
Yeah, or you do research, right? Maybe, but a lot of the time, so those that then you need to know how to deal with people too. And the communication skills then becomes very important. So it's not only being able to communicate with the animals, but with people too. And our curriculum has been well designed to incorporate that so that students are proficient and have good communication skills when they graduate.
Wow, very inspiring. Thank you so much, Dr. Thiba and Prof. Malaika. Okay, coming back to our program, Dr. Thiba, other than a career working in animal clinics and hospitals, what other career opportunities that the students will have after they completed their studies in Biovet Science degree program?
For me, I think, the bioveterinary sphere is actually very wide. I would think, with the current developments, into animal welfare and conservation, and a lot of countries actually looking into welfare. Welfare doesn't just, start at home. Welfare is everywhere. Welfare is a main component, when it comes to slaughtering animals, when it comes to rearing animals, so much so a lot of countries, they only want to buy your products if you lay in certain, animal welfare rules and regulation. And Malaysia, is striving hard to, make sure that all these welfare rules and regulation are followed. So, a career as a welfare and conservation officer is something that you can look forward to. That is what you are passionate about, then you can look into going in as, okay, let's say if you want to be a farm manager, you want to go and, do breeding, you want to do genetic selection, these are actually, I would say careers that pays very well because, at the end of the day, any farmer would want to have a breed of animal that is resistant to diseases, that can, have very good food conversion ratio, meaning they eat a little bit and they come, right? Whatever that can bring profit, right? So genetics plays a very important role. So they can go in and, they can explore those, they can go in to work with veterinary laboratories. Recently I heard that, in the US, they have veterinary embryologists.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of cows, they do artificial insemination, right? So these embryologists actually collect, right, the embryos and implant, right? Because, for them, coming out with the best kind of breed, again, it has come to do with, they can have a resistance to certain diseases, they can, genetically select, right? They can withstand, they don't want to have diseases. So genetic, like embryologist is something that is, I just heard it off the, I saw in one of the webs that I was reading, right? So you can go into laboratory, testing, those kind of things, Then of course, those who want to, you love animals like me, you want to treat them, you want to, help them, you can go into the veterinary health sector, right? That means, you are equipped with the knowledge to help veterinary doctors with their day-to-day routine running the clinic. I would say that as a veterinary doctor myself, I take pride in the fact that my support staff can do certain things. Because as a veterinary doctor, you can't be in so many places at one time, right? you're there to do the diagnosing and all that, and often my veterinary technicians and nurses are the ones, who run the blood work,
Right.
who, does the
Putting the IV
bandaging.
catheters,
Yes, they do
yeah.
all of that. So our graduates are equipped with this kind of knowledge to go into the veterinary health sector. Then you have the veterinary pharmaceutical
Right.
sector and the marketing sector, where veterinary pharmaceutical is a huge industry, right? At the end of the day, there has to be somebody who looks after the veterinary drugs.
Yes,
There has to be somebody who looks after the regulation,
right.
right? So our graduates can go in the veterinary pharmaceutical line, right? Looking after the maybe,
And it's important for prevention too, so
Yes.
vaccines, ectoparasiticides.
yeah,
So, that's another field that, you can learn and go into, and in terms of research too, I
Yes,
think,
yes,
research
yes.
production, but then sales,
correct.
right, sales.
And of
marketing.
course, the next one is if you are very interested in research.
Yeah.
Right, you can take that as a career pathway.
Yes.
And become a scientist, you can innovate, I think our curriculum gives leeway to that. We have incorporated technology,
Yeah.
we have incorporated, AI, so maybe, if that's what is your niche. Today, I'll tell you, the best farmers are the ones who incorporate engineering.
Right,
They are the ones who incorporate AI into their farming.
Yeah.
So you can be one of those successful,
Mhm.
being going into those kind of line is actually not so bad after all. And along the line, they actually, you can go into public health because, there's
like
not
the government
diseases.
sector, like even
Yes.
Dr. Thiba was there,
Yes.
so we have a lot of veterinary, animal science and biovet graduates can also infiltrate that too.
So basically, you can go into the government sector, you can go into the private sector.
What about nutrition? That's your favorite topic, you didn't
Yes,
mention
yes,
about.
yes, of course. I would say, yeah, thanks for reminding me, right? So the other thing that I think is really gaining traction now is nutrition. I think as time passes by, more and more people are paying attention. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? The same thing. And, people pay money to make sure that their chicken, the meat, everything is organic, right?
Yeah.
Organic meat is expensive. But that's the thing. There is somebody who's curating those kind of nutrition, right? So you can opt to become an animal nutritionist. I personally am pursuing something like this because I see the importance in curating nutrition. I want to be able to custom make nutrition for my sick animals. I think it's really important because, food can be medicine too,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for reminding me. So as you can see, if you allow me to talk, I'll talk for another 2 days. Because I think, you want more information, you can always come by and, like ask us, drop by, put your questions up and, we will answer as much as we can.
And talking about industry and industry partnerships, Prof. Malaika did mention that was one of the key features of the program. So can we know more about the industry partners that we have engaged so far, Dr. Thiba?
Okay, like we say, in IMU, we are very serious about curating graduates that are industry ready. So we have tied an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with partners from all the different sectors, right? So we have players who are, like, if anybody mentions, okay, they are it, right? So we have our it players. So for the veterinary health sector, we have Animal Medical Center, we have St. Angel's Animal Hospital, then we have KM Animal Hospital. So these are your big players when it comes to small animal veterinary industry. Alongside, we will recruit all our small animal clinicians who will be able to mentor you on what it takes, to be there in the veterinary clinic. I think, academics aside, industry is where you will really, really learn. You will learn the current trends and all that. Okay. Then for veterinary pharmaceuticals, we have Elanco, we have Ronma. Elanco and Ronma are the pioneers when it comes to veterinary pharmaceuticals. They bring in drugs, they make their own vaccines. So, you are actually mentored by people who are, who know about regulatory, who know about, what it takes to really be in the forefront of certain sectors. For nutrition, we have Royal Canin, we have Pet World International, So these are companies that tailor make, prescription diet, they tailor make nutrition that's, that you do for small animals, sorry. Cow is, feed companies like FFM, I think we signed in with Sun Group, all right? So we have for small animal, we have for large animal. So, we are really bringing in a lot more to the table as we speak.
STC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, for the horses, we have Selangor Turf Club. Again, for cows
Farm
and all
Fresh.
that, we have Farm Fresh. We also have with us, professors who are large animal clinicians who are, now even actively consulting on small farm holders and all that. So students really get hands-on experience going into the industry. It isn't like other places where you have to find your own mentor. You have to okay, holiday, please go and find your own clinic. No, we make sure our industry partners are in line with our goals, in line with our objectives, and we work hand in hand to make graduates who are industry ready.
Okay, Prof. Malaika, I understand that not only will the students go to industry for their practical training, but industry experts will also be teaching in our program.
Yes, that's correct. So at the moment, we have 5 full-time lecturers or academic, and we have another 9 that are actually coming in as part-time or guest lecturer. And actually, of all of these, I think only 2 of them are non-vets, so all of them are veterinarians. 90% of them are experienced academics or retired academics that are experts in their respective fields. And the remaining 10% are actually those industry experts that Dr. Sabrina talked about. So they have been, like Dr. Thiba said, innovators, right? So they have led and advanced livestock production and husbandry in the area of their expertise. So they're coming on board as well. So we're really lucky that they are contributing. And on top of that, also, many of these academics even are clinicians. So apart from, the teaching aspect, they have the clinical experience as consultants working at mostly the teaching hospitals. So we have a very good faculty, very experienced faculty who are ready to teach our biovet students.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thiba and also Prof. Malaika for the enlightening discussion. We'll now move on to our Q&A session, and we have 3 questions right now. Number 1, can you please share the list of industry partnerships? I think Dr. Thiba has already shared some. Question by Yiki and Eileen. Is there a possibility of studying veterinary medicine in private university here in Malaysia, or to go into veterinary medicine program in general?
I think I can answer that. In terms of entering private institutions offering veterinary medicine, there are none at the moment. So there are only 2 public universities that are offering veterinary medicine. That's UPM and UMK. Right, so I think the second question was about whether it's possible to pursue that after a bioveterinary science degree at IMU. So it does depend on the university. So the regulations differ according to the university, but the local universities or the public universities, they will look at the pre-university results. So if your pre-university results are tally with their entry requirements for vet med, then you do have the opportunity to apply to the veterinary school at these local universities following a degree here at IMU.
Okay, the next question is, what sort of career would we have in healthcare or clinical with the biovet degree? Would we play a vet tech sort of role without doing a vet nursing degree, Dr. Thiba?
Locally, yes, that would be it. You will be doing a veterinary technician, veterinary nursing role because we do not have veterinary nursing or technician as a degree.
Yeah.
But our bioveterinary science, we wanted to make sure we curated a degree that you can go into many areas and not niche veterinary technician, veterinary nurse. But yes, you will be able to work in our clinics as technicians or nurses.
Okay, another question is it Biovet Science is like the nurse or pharmacy of animal?
I think, well, the role, even when we talk about in the veterinary, as a bioveterinary degree holder or graduate, again, the career options are very diverse. So there are in other countries, there are special certificates for veterinary nursing or degrees. There are special certification for veterinary pharmacy, but those degrees or certificates are not currently available in Malaysia. So what is happening is a lot of the veterinary assistants, if you go to a veterinary clinic or hospital, the assistants have very diverse backgrounds. So they may not even have a diploma or a degree in animal science. And they are basically trained on the job. So as a biovet science graduate, you will be trained to be able to enter that job market as well. And I think this is a key component actually of the rationale of this program, is because of this huge gap where we don't have these trained veterinary assistants or so-called veterinary nurses that are able to help this sector. So that's what we're hoping to do, to actually be able to support the animal health industry, where our graduates will be workforce ready when they graduate.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Malaika. Next question. Okay, another veterinary medicine related question. Will IMU be offering the full 5-year veterinary medicine program in the future? Dr. Thiba, want to take this question?
I think,
Allow Prof. Malaika to.
I think, I mean, nothing is concrete yet. We are starting off with this bioveterinary science degree program to begin with. We'll see what the future holds.
Okay, and what can I do if I want to be a biovet doctor after I finish doing biovet science degree? So she wants to become a biovet.
I think you mean a vet doctor, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to answer it?
So after you have completed your biovet science degree, we have overseas partners, universities that we're working on, with a few universities in the UK. So you can go in as a graduate entry.
Right.
So with the bioveterinary science degree, if you satisfy their requirements, entry requirements, you can offer and go in the graduate entry programs.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thiba. A question by Prisha, Dr. Malaika, and Dr. Thiba. What are your input on advancing into medical illustration from a biovet degree?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Interesting question, yes.
Medical illustration. I am not very familiar with that. It would be difficult for me to comment. However, again, I mean, basically, if it's medical illustration, what I assume is it's to do with drawings or illustrations related to the medical field, and then again, it would also the veterinary field also, you could use those skills. So I don't see why not, but I cannot guide you as into actually how that could be done.
Because if you want to go into medical as in human, then you would need anatomy from the human side. So,
but I'm just thinking maybe they're thinking about more design and illustration. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not so clear myself, so I'm sorry.
Okay, moving on. Is this a lab-based degree or clinical skills-based degree? What are the percentage?
I would say that this is a mix. You get your lab, you get your clinical, you also get your farm visits, field visit management. You get a hands-on of everything. It's not like biomedical where I think they concentrate more on just laboratory.
Yeah.
Ours, you get the competency for laboratory, you get competency for management, you get competency for clinical skills.
Yeah.
And research.
Very holistic, I would
Yes.
say. Yeah.
A question by Jessica Ting. Can you elaborate more on the trade industry pathway? What is it?
All right, so I think in the program structure, there were two options. So there was trade practice and then there was the clinical. So this is currently for the first cohort, we are just focusing on clinical. But why we had divided it and give this option possibly in the future is because we may have students who want to just enter the industry. So they do
Yes.
not have their vision, I mean, their goal is not to do, for example, veterinary medicine. So they're happy with entering the industry, and therefore the options then would be tailored to the industry practice. The clinical practice track would be catered to those students who actually plan to further their veterinary medicine degree. So it would be more heavily, the clinical component would be more heavily emphasized in this track. So at a later stage then, for those who would want to go on to pursue veterinary medicine, it would then become compulsory to actually take the clinical track.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Malaika. Can you elaborate how One Health will be incorporated and applied in the curriculum? One Health.
Okay. Again, very interesting. We actually have modules that are designed for One Health, right? I think it is in our fourth semester that we have a One Health module where we look into WOAH guidelines on how to incorporate food security, zoonotic diseases. So One Health basically encompasses the relationship or between or interaction between animal, human, and environment. So that module, I think we have two modules actually that talk about this, and we will expose students to what it actually means, what One Health actually means, and how, we are going to curate whatever you learn towards the WOAH standard. Yes.
Certainly. So I think also we are well, placed because at IMU the medical school is very well known and established. And so we also have cross teaching. So that also provides the students with that exposure to One Health. So having that human side come in and talking about human health as well and how it interplays with animal health.
Okay, next question. What's the difference between industrial and clinical? How do we choose?
I think I
and
actually
If they
explained
can
that.
take both practice.
No, it won't be possible to take both because they're two different tracks. So you kind of like, at the beginning, you're on the same road, and then there's a crossroad. So you can't go both right and left. You'll have to make that choice.
Okay, next question. What is the current demand for the business and management sector relating to biovet science?
Demand for the business and management
sector.
sector.
I would think, with the global shortage of anything and everything related to the
Food security.
veterinary.
I think the main thing is
Yeah.
food security.
Yeah.
And when we talk about businesses or industries, that's a huge part. I mean, there's been a lot of focus on food security. So I think as a bioveterinary science graduate, having that holistic knowledge of, the health, production, husbandry, management, I think they're very well placed to actually play a role in that.
And I think, if
Arena
you
too.
are somebody who has that business mindset,
Yeah.
right, you need that portion to be able to run a successful business per se, I think when I was a student, business portion was not taught.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, when we were speaking to one of our industry partners, they did mention that, they're happy to see business components, finance components incorporated into our curriculum, because, they see a lot of up and coming veterinary doctors and, those who want to set up pet shop don't really have the skill
Foundation.
or the foundation of finance and business.
Yeah.
So I think, in any area, finance and business, I think will play a very big role if you're somebody who wants to start your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have another Okay, I will take another last question. Okay, last question.
All right.
Can you elaborate where wildlife and exotic animals will be covered in the structure?
Yeah, so wildlife and exotics is not covered. So whenever we talk about animal health or veterinary medicine, even the core species that are taught would be your ruminants. So you have your goats, sheep, and cows. You have equine, you have dogs and cats, and you have swine and you have poultry. So the exotic animals and the wildlife, that component, if you're interested in, that's something that requires further training. So that I think some curriculum, they may have a module on wildlife and exotics and aquatics possibly as well, but those are not the core species that are normally taught. Right, so obviously, if you are interested, you can go. I mean, definitely, your mini zoos and all, they need assistance as well. So you can actually go there because you do have the foundation of animal health and veterinary science. So you can actually go into those areas, but obviously it would require further training.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thiba and Mr. Prof. Malaika, for answering
Thank you so much.
questions. We've come to the end of our forum. I'd like to thank speakers from Malaika and Dr. Thiba and everyone here for your participation.
I think if you do, I think a lot of the questions we did not have a chance to answer because of time limitation. So please feel free to drop an email to us, or even, I think Dr. Sabrina will talk about it in a second about the open day.
Yes, I'd like to invite everyone here to come drop by at IMU Open Day, which will be happening this Sunday. Prof. Malaika, Dr. Thiba, and I will be here to answer further inquiries regarding the Biovet Science degree program. And you can scan the QR code right here for more information. And we also want to inform about this photo contest, My Pet and I, that will be taking place from today, I think, 16 August to 16 September next month, for you to join. And I think there is attractive prizes for you to win. Okay, and before we end today's forum, I would like to also share that IMU is offering an inaugural bursary of 30,000 ringgit Malaysia for the first cohort students. So if you would like to know more about the bursary, please visit our website or contact directly to the admission or the marketing office. So that's the end of our forum. Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, thank you so much,
Sabrina.
Thank you,
Dr. Thiba.
Sabrina.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing some of you in more program. Right?
Thank you so much. Thank you for
you.
attending.
Take care.
Care.
Thank
Good
you.
night and have a nice weekend.